I think that some of the problems that we have here in UAE, I mean, listen, it's very open, it's very free. However, there is still restrictions. And if we're going to have a film industry, we're going to have to live in the reality that we have to loosen some of those up. It's just the way it is. If you choose to have a film industry, which it seems that we have chosen. I think the other thing is it's been such a commercially viable market, which is great and everything, and it's been a good showcase for the city. But now if we want to see really passionate, moving movies, and that's why I say all the time, I can watch a movie and I can get the message, fine, but do I feel something?
Listen, I understand you're upset about the car, but you don't just barge in here.
You know who I am?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Okay.
See my picture in the papers?
Yes and no sometimes.
Sit down.
Never.
My name's Miranda, and I started performing at the age of 4. My mother was a thespian, so it was pretty much bound for me to be a performer. As a figure skater, I left home at 9. I trained 8 hours a day. At some point, I think in my late teens, early 20s, I didn't want to kind of put my body through the physical aspect of training 8-9 hours a day. So it was like, oh goodness, now what? You know, I've been a performer my whole life. I tried to get my real estate license. That lasted about 5 minutes. I thought, oh, it's time to get a real job. And not by pressure of my family, by, social pressure. And I went into the agenting side. So I lived in New York for a while, and I worked for Next Model Management, which is one of the best agencies in the world for models. And I went on to develop the division at Vision Agency when it was in New York. And one day I was on a business trip, and I started getting really sick, and I started throwing up blood. And I was hospitalized. And someone looked at me and said, you need to go back performing. And it was then I realized that if you have it in your blood, it turns toxic on you. And I try to encourage people all the time. It doesn't matter if you think you're ever going to win an Oscar or you're ever going to play at Wimbledon if you're a tennis player. It's, if you love it and it's something that's passionate, don't ever let somebody tell you that you shouldn't. So then I actually called an actress friend of mine, Maite Garcia, and I said, I think I want to get into acting. And she was so encouraging and so wonderful.
Let's just do this anyways. I love you. I don't think I've really known that until this very second, this very moment. But I've never felt so relaxed. I've never felt so loved for who I am. Lynette, marry me.
And so anyways, then I worked with Michelle Danner, and together, she came over here, or I helped bring her over here. And I realized that if we're going to make movies in this region, that we as a community, as a government, independent film needs to be supported here. Young actors need to be supported. There should be, I would like to see more government incentives, more community incentives, not just to make movies, but also to cultivate it from the ground up. I teach people from all ages to ethnicities, genders, religions. I mean, the human experience is what acting's about, and that's a global common thread we all have. Loving what you do helps you get up in the morning, there's always gonna be pitfalls, and if you don't love it, you will definitely quit it, because it's not all glamour and glitz. I want to give back to young people that want to be performers a little less struggle, a little more joy.